All right, let's dive into something really fascinating today, a spiritual framework called Arreqqana. It's built on this one powerful core idea that the biggest struggle we face in life isn't what you probably think it is. So let's get right into it.
You know, we're all kind of taught to see the world as this big battle between good and evil, right versus wrong. It's a duality that pretty much shapes everything. But the spirituality of Arreqqana starts by asking a question. What if that's not the real fight at all? And this is where Arreqqana just flips the whole script. It suggests that the true struggle, the one that really matters, isn't good versus evil. It's between remembering who we truly are at our core and forgetting it. Seriously, getting this one concept is the key to understanding everything else that follows. So that leads us right to the heart of the Arreqqana worldview, this path of remembering. This isn't about trying to become some new, better person. No, it's about the deep, profound act of recalling something ancient and essential that's already inside you.
At the very center of this path is something called the Kima seed. The teaching here is that every single being carries this little spark of the original source. But here's the thing, it's not just sitting there. It's active. It's encoded with clues and signs all around us, almost like a trail of breadcrumbs left specifically to help us wake up, recognize them, and find our way back home.
Okay, so if this whole thing is a journey of remembering, then how do we, navigate it? What's the map? Well, Arreqqana gives us one, and it's based on these two primary energies that define our entire experience, the flame and the river. So here's how that breaks down. The flame, that's our passion, our boldness, our strength. They call it kasor. It's the energy that brings us tests and challenges. Then you have the river. That's all about care, flow, and softness, or nakia. It's what nourishes us. And the crucial part here, the real secret, isn't about choosing one over the other. The goal is to find the perfect balance between them. And you can really feel that idea of balance captured so beautifully in this sacred attraction chant from the tradition. You see, it's not about strength or softness, it's about weaving them together. And when you do that, that's when the soul can really open up to both wonder and to love.
So, who's our guide in this delicate process of balancing and remembering? Well, this is where we meet the central divine figure in the Arreqqana cosmology, the goddess Lala'ye.
Lala'ye is the complete embodiment of nakia, that soft power we were just talking about. But here's what's so different about her. She's not a deity who just hands down answers. They call her the revealer of wonder. Her whole purpose is to help you remember your true self by showing you the clues that are already there, all while balancing your inner flame with her gentle care. And this contrast is it's huge. On one side, you've got that classic commander archetype, a god who gives rules, demands you obey, and threatens punishment if you don't. But on the other side, you have Lala'ye, the unveiler. She doesn't demand anything. She awakens your memory. She doesn't command, she just reveals what's already inside of you. It all just boils down to this one simple, powerful phrase. Her gift isn't some object she hands to you. Her gift is the act of revealing, of gently peeling back all those layers of forgetting so you can finally see the truth you were carrying all along. Okay, so if Lala'ye is a revealer and not a commander, that sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like? How do we learn to actually see our own inner thread in the real world? This is where Arreqqana completely reframes something like divination. Whether you're using cards or looking at dreams, it's got nothing to do with fortune telling. The question you're asking isn't what's going to happen to me. The real question is what part of me is already calling out, trying to be seen. Divination, in this context, is just a mirror you hold up for self-remembrance. And where do you find these messages? Everywhere. The clues are literally encoded into your everyday life. I mean, think about it. That one dream symbol that just sticks with you for days, or seeing the same number over and over again. Those weird synchronicities, a chance meeting that feels way too significant. The seers have this beautiful way of putting it. They say, Lala'ye leaves milk drops on the path for the thirsty soul to find. All right, let's get practical. Let's take this whole framework and apply it to something we can all relate to. Attraction. So why are people sometimes so drawn to that classic bad boy or bad girl type? Well, from an Arreqqana perspective, it's got nothing to do with good versus bad. It could be something called shadow attraction. You're being pulled toward a quality you've pushed down in yourself. Or maybe your soul is unconsciously choosing a challenge thread to test your own boundaries.
And on a purely elemental level, it makes sense. The flowing river is naturally drawn to the passionate flame, because that intensity helps the river remember its own power to become steam.
But this framework isn't just for personal stuff. We can actually scale it up and use it as a lens to diagnose cultural issues, like the really persistent and damaging split in how society views the feminine. So when a culture creates this false black and white choice, like the whole Madonna whore complex, where women are either pure or impure, Arreqqana spirituality sees that as a symptom of a deep cultural sickness. They have a name for it: thread forgetting. It's a collective loss of connection to the divine source of our own life thread.
And there's this Arreqqana saying that just hits so hard because it completely reframes the whole issue. It argues that devaluing the feminine isn't just some external act of judgment. It's an internal act of self-harm. You're literally severing the connection to your own origin. So healing that cultural split means re-honoring the source within everyone.
And that leads us to one last really profound concept. How do you actually gain this kind of wisdom? Well, in Arreqqana, wisdom isn't a reward you earn for being good. It's a resonance. You can only truly hear and understand a teaching when you've done the inner work to tune your own thread to that teaching's frequency. It's just like tuning a radio. You can't hear the music if you're not on the right station.
There's a perfect little proverb for this. Wisdom finds its own tone. The teaching doesn't show up as a prize. It just arrives when its frequency finally matches yours. It's a natural, perfect resonance. And this leaves us with a really powerful final thought to sit with. If truth isn't some destination you have to find, but a frequency you can tune into, then the only question that really matters is the one right here on the slide. What are you already tuned to?